The man traveled back in time and fell in love with himself before transitioning. He got intimate with his past self, and ended up giving birth to his infant self. John was originally a woman, until she met a scumbag. After she got pregnant, the scumbag dumped her. A few months later, John gave birth to a baby girl, but she lost too much blood during childbirth. The doctors had no choice but to perform a gender reassignment surgery. That was the only way to save her life. But what broke her the most? Her newborn baby went missing. Heartbroken, he poured his sorrows out to a bartender. "If I could go back in time, I'd make that bastard pay," he said. Turns out the bartender actually had a time machine. He was in fact an agent of the Time Bureau. He had been tracking a bomber. On one mission, he was defusing a bomb. He was so close to stopping the explosion, but the bomber got in his way. That explosion also left him horribly disfigured. In exchange for time travel, John had to take over the bartender's job after completing a mission. Before they knew it, they were back in the past. A woman suddenly bumped into him. John realized it was his past self. That's when he understood he was the scumbag. Seeing his younger self, John felt the urge to protect her. They started dating, and fell deeply in love. The bartender watched from afar, but he didn't interfere. He was still haunted by the bombing, so he secretly traveled back to the day of the explosion. Sure enough, he found the bomber. They got into a fierce fight. In the end, the bartender was overpowered and passed out. When he came to, the bomb had already gone off. He rushed to the scene. He saw someone struggling to reach the time machine. That's when he finally understood. He was the one who had saved himself. Back at headquarters, his boss gave him a new mission, to take John's newborn back to the past. Turns out he was the one who had taken the baby. The bartender traveled back in time with the baby, left her at an orphanage, waiting for her to grow up and give birth to herself. Then he returned to John's timeline, where he was still dating. By now, John, who had become a man, had completed his mission, and the female John was pregnant. Furious, John pointed a weapon at the bartender. "Why did you do this? You knew I was the one who hurt myself. Why bring me here?" The bartender stayed calm. Instead, he revealed a shocking truth.
And now maybe you're ready to understand who I am.
He was John, just older. John was convinced. They returned to headquarters together. He would be trained as a time agent and take over the bartender's role. But even after retirement, the bartender felt uneasy. His boss had once given him a file. The investigation showed the bomber would appear at a laundromat in 1975. Unable to let it go, John traveled there with a weapon. Sure enough, the bomber was there. But when he saw him, the bartender froze. The bomber was his older self.